Welcome back, everyone. I've got the moped I sold last week coming back briefly. It's been a bit of an up and down week with it. He bought the bike 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. And then he rode it home, and I mean, that bike always started beautifully on the button. It was the one that was over here, the KSR moto. And then on Sunday, so 2 days later, he said, I can't get it started. So I went up there with my boost box, and it did start, but it was kind of a bit erratic on idle. It just felt something wasn't right. And I said to him, what did you do between mine and here? What did you do? And he said, all I did was I went home, I put some fuel in, parked it up, didn't use it on the Sunday or on the Saturday, and then it won't start on the Sunday. So I said to him, what fuel did you put in? And he was slightly hesitant, and then he said unleaded. And I put my finger in around the neck and I ran it around, and it was oily. And I was sniffing it, and it's so hard to tell, but I'm sure he put a couple of quid of diesel in. And ultimately it started anyway, and I said to him, look, I really think you've put a couple of quid of diesel in. He said, I'm not sure actually. And I said, yeah, I think you have. Get it back to my garage ASAP, and I'll look at it on Saturday. So I said, just ride it straight down now, jump on it, ride it straight down, get it to my garage. So annoyingly, I can't do much until Saturday, but if I get a free evening, I'll do that. And then the next day was the Monday now, and he said to me, it's riding beautifully, I've ridden it to Heathrow. And I was like, oh, well, whatever's happening here. And then Wednesday or Thursday, he said it's not starting, it's up at Heathrow. And he said, I've bought a new battery and I've put a new battery in. And I said, actually, that's a good idea. The battery I gave you was working, but probably an old one. And then we've kind of had issues from there. Now, I think the battery issue is quite simple. I think he's gone into a shop. He said, I got it from a shop. He's likely to have bought an old battery off the shelf. Ultimately, I've said to him, look, you've got to get it back to me. He said to me at one stage in the week, he said, look, I just want my money back. And I said, look, I'm not being funny, but you've had the bike for, 6 or 7 days now. I don't know what you've done to it. It's very likely you put diesel in on that journey home. I'm pretty sure you did. And then I really wanted to drain the diesel because your spark plug's going to be wet, blah, blah, blah. Your sensors might even be playing up. Now, I said, you really do have to get it to me. And then I said to him, look, I'm not going to give you a penny back until you get the bike to me. I do want to have a look at it. And then the next day, he said it's riding beautifully. So that would have been on Friday. We're Sunday now. And it's just been like that. So, and then this morning he said, I can't get it started. And then I said, right, I'll come up to you now because I know where you are. Not in a threatening way, as in I'll come and help you get it started. And he said, oh, it started. So I don't know what's going on here, but he's due back now. I've said to him, you've got to come back. For one, he's got my booster box, which I want. I left it with him. And for two, I want to check this bike over. I want to clean the spark plug. That's the number one priority. I'm pretty sure it's wet. I'm hoping he's put in more unleaded this week, so he's drowned out the bit of diesel he's put in. And I do think it'll be fine. I do think he bought a shit battery off the shelf and all. I'm going to tell him to buy one from eBay. So that's where we are this morning. Sorry, that's a very long intro, but it's important to understand kind of some of the stuff that happens with sales. I'm in two minds today. Part of me wants to pull out the Hanway. I've got a battery here that's got a bit of charge in it, not much, but a bit. And I desperately want to hear the old Honda. I might pull out the Honda. I might put a battery to it and just check the electrics at this stage, check the oil. I might just check it over, and then if I think it might do anything, I've got some fuel in a can down there. I might just fuel it up and see if we can just hear it, just get the oil circulated. That would be great for me. I've got the tank down here. It's got vinegar in it. It's been in there for 2 weeks now. I've been shaking it and moving it around. The reason I'm not pouring it out right now is because I want to go and get 5 litres later. I want to actually put it back on the bike, shake it out immediately, put the new fuel in immediately, and throw it back on the bike. Otherwise, it will flash rust. Really, I'll need to do 2 runs. Really, I should fill it all the way up. Put a whole 10 litres in when it's on the bike to sort out the flash rusting. And probably an inline fuel filter just in case we get bits of anything coming through, but we shouldn't. So yeah, let me pull that out, just throw some power to it. The first thing is, does it power up at all? Now I tried to boost the lithium battery yesterday, which it did appear, and, you know, my charger looked like it was putting charge into it, but it hasn't worked. But I just don't think this bike, I'm sure if you use a lithium battery, you have to look into the electrics. You should probably use a specialist lithium regulator and stuff. So my guess is the regulator on this has gone as well. That's my guess. The regulator's gone as well. So it probably needs a bog standard battery, not a lithium battery, and a new regulator. And then I think that thing will be good. And then I've got two options: sell it on, make a few pounds, use it for the summer. Let's be honest, I use my KTM. I love my KTM. It's probably worth just pushing it forward at the right time. Let's pull it out. Let's have a look over it. Let's see how we are. How we are for oil. And we'll pop a spark plug. We'll pop both spark plugs. Give them a quick spray. There's some leaves down there. We've got to just be a bit careful. They'll fall in. Not that they'll make much difference. How are we for oil? It's pretty low actually. It's not even touching the dipstick. Look, I haven't turned it over, so that's fine. All right, I need to order some oil for next week. That's, at least I know that. I'm gonna literally order that now. Press the button now. I'm not gonna turn this over. I'm gonna pop the spark plugs and just give them a quick clean. The regulator's here. Ah, they're fine. Regulators there. I do think a normal battery is needed. That's just brake cleaner, guys. I think this thing will fire up fairly easily. On the other side, so we don't mess around with over timing. Well, that's quite gunky and wet, that one. I don't just clean these lightly and chuck them back in, guys. I will change them. CR7HS. I don't put too much pressure on plugs anymore. Maybe that's why they're loose. Maybe it was me who had them last. Cool. I'm just going to look at some of the earthing points. I can see one there. I'm going to look over the right for another one. Remember, it's blowing its main fuse. I do stick with that was down to the lithium battery. I do think a new regulator, if I can find one, and an original battery, my guess is it would be okay. It wouldn't hurt for me to put power to this, would it? I should probably do that. Let me put power to it and see if it has power or if that fuse is blown now. So that little moped has been and gone. He just got unlucky. He went to a mechanic who sold him a Lextech battery for 55 quid, and it was shit. And actually they're £19 online, 55 quid, and it'd been, you know, he'd off it. And actually he said he had to put the acid in himself. So, terrible. So he's good, he's gone. All I did was clean the spark plug, check the oil, just check it all over. It started absolute first press of the button. So I've sent him a link for a good, decent battery, a proper one, the right battery for the bike. The Lextech one wasn't even the right battery for the bike anyway. So I think he'll be good to go. Right, I do just want to put a bit of power to this bike just to see what it does. I cannot attempt to start it up. It doesn't have enough oil. Oh, we've got power. Oh, we've got high beam, low beam. Okay, we've got. Okay. Do you know what? I mean, I really want to press the button. I'm not going to. It needs oil. Wow, brilliant. I'm very happy about that. Great. I'm going to take that battery out, and I can't wait to fire this up. Next week, we'll hear this. And then I need to decide, how far do I go with it? What do I do? I'm definitely going to have to take that wrap off. Look how terrible that wrap is. I might have to put new on. Do I do the side casings again? Look, the swing arm's a bit rusty. I have to really decide how far I'm going with this. Do I have it just as an everyday usable bike? Or do I take it apart a bit and throw a bit of paint on it? Side casing again, look. I love the polished part here. That will come up nice. Do you know what? It probably wouldn't hurt to take anything off that's a bit rusty and give it a good clean. I'll do the top of the engine as well. I'll probably throw that black. For now, it needs a good clean. Can't wait. All right.